Hello there.
Wait! Don't leave! The YouTube algorithm discriminates against me, but trust me when I say it. This guide is a good one. You can even skip subscribing or liking the video, but please watch it. Now that I made you feel guilty to leave, I can continue. When doing Skeleton Fleet, you'll often run into other players, so it's important to know how to shake them off. If you want to go straight into fighting the fleet, skip ahead to the time on your screen. As you can see, there's a Reaper Brigantine in the distance. And after looking at the map, I'm guessing they were preparing to do Fort of the Damned. So I decided to wait until they started before I do my Skeleton Fleet. But these guys thought I was a threat and insisted to dance around this rock with me. This will not be a guide on how to defeat them, as I will only focus on how to escape fights and make the other team stop chasing you. And to successfully do that, you need to remember that rocks are your friends. Embrace the rock. Allow it to enter your heart as you listen to the ocean waves. I tested it out. I circled around the same rock with every ship and timed it. My results showed that Sloop is the fastest ship when doing harpoon turns around a rock. So every time you are running away from a bigger ship, remember that. Here I stopped my ship, just in case they decided to turn around, while I can't see them, so that they can pop out from the other side to try and surprise me. And because these guys didn't leave me alone, I went to the place that has the most rocks. Shipwrecks Bay. Here in some places you can drive through rock gaps with sloop, but not with larger ships, because the bottom of the ship will get stuck. Not to mention, harpoons are much easier to do on a sloop than on large ships like Brigantine or Galleon. Those guys eventually got stuck in between rocks, and I was able to go and start my Skeleton Fleet. Your first priority should be making sure you and the Skellies are going in the same direction, because that allows you to fire cannonballs without turning the ship. Second priority is to shoot skeletons who are on the cannons, because if they can't shoot your ship, you can skip repairing and bailing the water. Third priority is to make as many holes on the bottom of their ship, so try shooting in different places. But remember, you should aim at the lower part of the ship, only if you have neutralized their cannons. So if you basically summarize everything, you should always try to minimize the tasks you need to do on your ship. After you successfully defeat a skeleton ship, you will get a short time to repair or restock on supplies, but remember to also use this time to check for other players. One thing that you should avoid during the short resting time is sailing towards northwest or southeast directions, because while you sail in these directions, the waves will make it hard for you to aim your shots when the next skelly ship appears. I made this mistake here, and it cost me some time because I wasn't landing all my shots perfectly. And it increased the chance of the Reaper Brigantine to pay me a visit. If the enemy ship's cannons are active, you should always try to dodge incoming cannon shots to avoid being damaged and waste valuable time while eating food. Also, an important thing to remember is to bail out the water. Here I wasn't sure how much water had filled, so I made a quick glance at my second floor to make sure I wasn't in immediate trouble. Restocking on supplies during the break is a good habit to have, because a Skelly Galleon will require more resources than Skelly sloops. For the Galleon, the same 3 rules apply. Try sailing side by side in the same direction, kill their cannons, and then shoot the lower parts of the ship. But galleons are tougher opponents than sloops, and it might be difficult to position both ships side by side. So the next best option is to try and spin together with them in the same direction. Trying to make holes on both sides of the ship can be a good idea in some cases, in order to keep pressuring them, because while skeletons can repair holes, they can't bucket out the water. Here, unfortunately, they anchored me, and I couldn't maintain the pressure. Another good tip is to go and do a quick bail or stack up on cannonballs when your angle isn't good yet, but might improve shortly. In this situation, I knew they might try to slam into me, because skeleton ships try to do that very often. Against all ships, players and NPCs, the key to victory is keeping up the pressure, so don't be afraid if your ship has some holes and is filling up with water. Do an occasional bail if you are worried, and then continue shooting. Repairing the holes on your ship should be one of the last priorities on your checklist. But if you are waiting for an angle, of course fix your ship. Also, try to face skellies only from one side of your ship, because that will make lesser holes they can make. Another important tip is to check around for other players right before you are about to sink the last skeleton ship, especially if you noticed a Reaper Brigantine right before you started the event. If you see a ship coming towards you, be ready to harpoon the chest of fortune and either fight them or try to shake them off. This is the last tip in the video. To confirm that you sank the skeleton ship, just wait for the icon on the top right corner. Hopefully now you can solo the skeleton fleet, get your chest of fortune and all the other yummy loot. Thank you for actually sticking to the very end of the video. If you are a Chad and are still here, write in the comments first, because I'm sure it's a barren wasteland in there.